Hello. Today I want to talk about using Lumio by Smart to build tools for student collaboration. So to get to my Lumio account, I go to suite.smarttech.com. From there, I'll be directed to log in with my district credentials, my district email, my district password. And that will take me to my account, my Lumio account that's been set up for me by the district. Once I'm on my home page, I'm going to see this big green button that says Add Activities. And as I scroll down into my library, the green button is always going to be up in my menu bar. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that button. And Lumio is going to give me some choices. I can upload my own content, but if I'm looking for content, I'm going to scroll down a bit and I'm going to use some of Lumio's templates. So here at the bottom, I have probably Lumio's most popular, which is Shout It Out. In the Shout It Out activity, I, the teacher, ask a question, and the students, in turn, type answers on their devices, which will show up on my smartboard for everyone to see. As you can see, I've opened Shout It Out, and it even has a little video tutorial. If you are interested in seeing this video tutorial, you can get to it from your own Lumio account. I'm going to go ahead and close that out though. And so say my question is how, again, we want to collaborate to assess students' ability to gauge their own work. So I'm going to ask, how do you feel about the topic? And as you can see, I have some randomized, which means student answers are just going to pop up all over, or categories. I can build some categories like good, bad, meh. I can also choose how the students are going to answer the question. They can either type their answers or they can upload pictures. And I can have students give a maximum amount. So if I want students to answer multiple times, I can give them multiple opportunities to contribute. If I only want them to give one answer, then I'm going to knock that down to one. I also have the choice to show or hide student names. We're going to make this anonymous. We don't want anybody feeling self-conscious. And once the activity is uploaded to my library, I get students started by having them go to hellosmart.com and they're going to join my class. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a name. And I'm all done. And when I start the activity, you'll see my smartboard will pop up these instructions. Go to hellosmart.com. And then to join my class, students would enter this class ID. Now, a note about class IDs. Once students enter it, it's saved to their Lumio account until it's physically deleted. So every point after today, when they go to hellosmart.com, instead of asking them to enter a class ID straight off, it'll ask them, do you want to join Miss Briscoe's class or do you want to enter a new class ID? And then once students connect, obviously I have no students connecting right now, then I can start the activity and their window will pop up asking them to type in their answers. And we will see them pop up here. And since I've made my categories, it'll even ask them which category would you want to put it in. And then they can specify, why do you feel good? Why do you feel bad? Why do you feel meh? So Shout It Out is a quick, you can almost create it on the fly, especially if you're not getting too specific, if you just made it generic and didn't put your categories in. It's a quick way to just get a vibe check on students. If I go back to my home page and my activities, another template that I can use is a response. Response is kind of like a formative assessment. It allows a teacher to build either multiple choice or true false questions, multiple answer like the check boxes. I can take an opinion or a short answer. So again, we're trying to gauge students' feelings. We're trying to get feedback from students. Maybe I want to take a poll. Then I can just put my question. How do you feel about the material? And again, I can put my multiple choice answers in, but I don't have to assign. The difference between a poll and a regular multiple choice is I don't have to assign an answer. And then again, once you're ready, you pop this up on your screen and students go to hellosmart.com, find your class or enter your class code, and then they can type in their answers. And they will pop up on your screen on your smartboard in real time. So as long as I have this activity open, students will see it in real time. Now, I can already hear some of you asking me, I don't want students logging in. How can I get students to collaborate without having to have their own individual iPads or Chromebooks? So again, I'm going to go back to my activities tab. And I'm going to scroll down here to some of these ready-made resources. For example, probably the most classic is a graphic organizer. I'm going to build an activity that utilizes one of these graphic organizers, but this time I'm not going to ask students to log in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build my organizer to be projected on my smartboard only. And what's going to happen is students are going to come up to the smartboard and they're going to collaborate together at my board. And that way I don't have to worry about students signing into devices or getting logged into the Hello Smart. So for example, I did a 3-column chart today. I did a KWL chart. So I go ahead and choose that template, and then I'm just going to type my headings in. And there it is, it's ready to go. Now, when I'm ready to share with students, I just click Start on my smartboard. There it is, it's on my smartboard. And then the students can just come up, grab the pens, write what they need to. And remember, on the new boards, you can have multiple students writing at the same time. So if I wanted one student to write what they know and one student what they wonder at the same time, I could do that. And then I have the whole class working together to create one KWL chart. And as soon as I'm done, I just end it. I'm back to my homepage. So graphic organizers, if you're not feeling comfortable with getting students to log in, getting students on their own devices, the pre-made graphic organizers are a quick way to start student collaboration right there on your smartboard. You also have access to your digital manipulatives. So again, I just throw one of those up. And again, you can have 2 or more students right there at your smartboard working together, or maybe I've got 2 boxes here. Maybe I want to make it a race if I want to get a little bit competitive. And I can do all this as soon as I finish this. I'm just going to call this money right from my smartboard. I just open Lumio from my smartboard. I go to My Files, and as long as you're logged into your smartboard, all of your Lumio files are going to be right there. I don't even have to open the internet browser. Just go to My Files, Lumio. Anything you create in Lumio will then be pulled up on your smartboard. And then as soon as I'm ready to go, I start it. And then the kids can come up to the board and move the money around. Now you have a couple other options in here, but they're just kind of more of the same. The questioning and reflection are just kind of pre-made response templates, pre-made shouted outs, pre-made graphic organizers. If you want to click those, you can check those out. And then activating prior knowledge, same thing. Kind of pre-made shouted out activities, pre-made response. Now, if you're feeling really adventurous, the last thing in our activities are the game-based activities. Now, those require a little bit more work, but those are probably the most interactive for students. So if I look, there are 12 game templates within the Lumio library. And again, I can create these games. You can put students on teams, or you can have students compete individually. And again, this is just another way to check in with students, get them working. You can, of course, use this for academics, but our goal is to get feedback from students to have them reflect on their own work. So again, if you're feeling super brave, these game activity templates are in there as well. Now, I showed you creating things from scratch. You don't necessarily have to create everything from scratch. Remember that there is the Smart Exchange at exchange.smarttech.com. And I can upload any of those lessons from Lumio. So if I find the lesson I like, I can upload it to Lumio. And then I have the option to add just one new slide. So say I want these coding mazes. I'm going to save that to my Lumio account. That's the lesson I'm going to teach. But now I want to add that reflection piece into it. So you can see it's importing. So I can go to edit, and it's going to ask me, do you want all these slides? And from the editing tab, I have all those slides that I just uploaded from the Exchange that somebody else put in there. And if there's something in there that I don't want, so for example, say I don't want this shouted out activity, I can always go to the three dots and hit delete. But then as I'm editing this activity, I have this plus sign down here. That allows me to add another slide to this already pre-made lesson. So I'm taking all these slides that somebody else created. I'm just going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to throw that poll opinion in there. How did you do at coding? I'm going to give them 3 choices. Great. Okay. I need more practice. And now that slide is in there as well. So I have all those other slides that somebody else made. I just uploaded it to my Lumio account. And then at the very end, I didn't quite make it to the end, but I can just slide it down. That's the nice thing about the slides. I can just rearrange them. I have that response. So when I give this to students, if I were giving this to students on their devices, the very last question, it would ask them, how did you feel? They would answer, I have that information. So I'm going to finish editing. And now it's there in my account ready to go. I can start it whenever I want. So that's just a quick overview of how you could use one tool, Lumio, for not only gauging student reflection, but getting them to collaborate as they do it as well. If you would like more information on Lumio or any other digital tool, please see the RPS 205 Instructional Technology website. Thank you.